about my fucked up family, because I feel like I'm not the only person in here with a fucked up family. This is Aiken, South Carolina. I've been around a few of you enough to know I'm not the only one. I feel like some guys like this. Anyone else in here with a fucked up family? My parents got a divorce when I was 1, and still to this day, that's the longest relationship I've ever had. My dad used to come pick us up every other weekend for visitation because he was a weekend dad. And sometimes when he'd come to pick us up, they would argue over like whose weekend it really was. And they would do that thing that couples do when they argue. Maybe some of you guys did tonight, which is where one person says something just because they know it's going to make the other person mad. And the other person's like, well, I can fucking beat that. And the next person's like, well, I can fucking beat that. And then my dad went for big air, and my mom was like, ugh. And my dad was like, and then mom turned around and grabbed her Little League baseball bat. And this is a story of my mom's attempted murder charge on my dad. And he ran and jumped into his car, and she proceeded to beat his windshield and his sunroof and his quarter panel. And as she drove off, she threw the bat at him. And I really wish I knew then what I know now, and that's that they could have been making some fucking killer country songs. Like she took a Louisville Slugger to both headlights, slashed a hole in all 4 tires. Maybe next time he'll think before he says something really fucked up in the middle of an argument. I tell you guys that story to tell you this. They just got remarried a couple years ago and celebrated their 2-year wedding anniversary. It was a really weird way to find out my dad's into the rough stuff. Was that too far? Should I stop? All right, let's go further. Who's got that person in their family that you're like, if they're coming to Thanksgiving, you're like, oh, I know they're going to say some fucked up shit. Who's got that person? If you don't have that person in your mind, you are that fucking person. My dad is that person in our family. Like, he loves saying jokes that he's the only one that's laughing at him because they're like, he calls them groaners. Like, that's his favorite thing. When someone else is like, ugh, he's like, oh yes, yeah, that's his favorite thing. And he thinks he's helping in this situation. What he'll do is when he's at a grocery store and he sees a single mom with a little kid that's acting up because it wants her to buy him something, what he'll do is he'll try to get the kid to behave better by trying to embarrass it. And the way he does this is he walks over and he offers to buy it. We're like, hey, you want to sell that kid for $2? Listen, I got a lot of land, he can mow the yard, he can rake the leaves, then when I give it back to you, he'll just be happy to be back to you and he'll behave better. The other day, we were out to lunch, and in the middle of lunch, he's like, hey, I'm gonna go do that thing, we're gonna try to buy that kid. I'm like, no the fuck you're not, because that kid's black, and listen. You can't just walk up to a black family and be like, hey, you want to, can I buy that kid for $2? I got a lot of land, you can mow the yard. I wish that wasn't a true story. I also wish that was the only time he's done that shit. My mom just beat breast cancer, and she went in. I'm happy she's still here with us. She went in. She had a mastectomy, and she went in to have reconstructive surgery. And she's like, I want to look 20 years old again. I was like, all right, calm it down, lady. I was having visions of like my mom just suddenly like, all right, let's go down to the strip club. I think I can apply. But she goes in to have like this reconstructive surgery. We go down there with her to show support and stuff. And when she goes into surgery, my dad and I go down to the cafeteria at the hospital to get breakfast. And when we were done, as we're walking out, walking in was a single black dad with 2 black kids. One of them super well behaved. The other one running as fast as he could straight towards the kitchen. And the dad chases after him, grabs him by the collar, and starts dragging him back to the table. Now I see this, know my dad's shitty joke, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna fucking walk this way now. My dad starts to follow me, and he's like, no, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be so great. He walks over to this family and he looks down and goes, "Hey, you want to sell that kid for $2?" And the room is as quiet as it is right now. The dad looks up at my dad, looks back at his kid, looks up at my dad, looks back at his kid, looks back at my dad, and goes, "Him? I'll fucking give him away for 50 cents. I don't give a shit. This one I love with all my heart. Not a penny. You could not name a price you're gonna give away this one. He's my favorite. But this one you can have for free. Come on, get it over here. You got a new dad with it. Get the fuck out of here." I was watching this thing go down. I'm like, "Oh my God, am I gonna end up in the newspaper again? Like, this is fucking crazy." But that could have gone tits up so fast. Thank God it didn't. Anyone else in here have a stepdad? I had a stepdad. That's the right response. I heard it over here somewhere. Someone was like, "Yeah." My stepdad got mad at me one morning and he picked me up by my left arm, my left leg, and he swung me around the room, hitting me in like the bookshelf and the record player and the dresser. And I was like, I've always wanted to play airplane. I didn't know it would involve so much furniture. Like every time I play Top Gun, I still gotta be Goose. You know he dies at the end, right? He didn't make it in the sequel. That's a true story, and I feel like going through something like that, I don't think I'm capable of having kids, because I don't think I could properly discipline them. Not that I would ever hit a kid, but I think I'd go the exact opposite route, and I'd be a pushover. Like I would just release the biggest monster into the world, and I never wanted to do that. Like I never wanted to be standing in front of a group of moms yelling to my kid like, "Come here, Cody. Don't make me count to 3, Cody." I don't know why I went with Cody. It's such a shitty name. Like I could've given my imaginary kid any fucking name. I went with Cody. I never wanted to be like, "Don't make me count to 3, Cody." Like 1, 2, 2.5. And right then, some asshole's gonna walk up to me and be like, "Hey, you want to sell that kid for $2? I got a lot of land."